said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Victoria. Y'all know where Victoria is?" Okay, that's where I'm from. I am a true redneck. Victoria. Lived there since I was 5 years old. Still live in these places, and I get all the garbage that you don't put in the bags. I get it in my front yard. I'm close to the van. But I grew up there, and when I was 16 years old, God called me to preach. He didn't call me to preach on Baptist, Methodist, whatever. When God called me, He said, "Mike, I want you to preach my word." I was Baptist because I was raised in Baptist. And I'm proud that I am. But I preach in all different churches. I go wherever God calls me to preach and gives me the opportunity. It's coming January next week after next, the 7th of January, I was ordained 58 years ago. Bruce sitting up there, the first one I saw too, I told him. No. He sat in my classroom. He just showed up. Mike did a little bit, but anyway, we're not going to get into that. I have always pastored rural churches. Being reared in a rural church, and New Hope was actually my home church. I was ordained out there. First sermon I ever preached was in Victoria when I was 16. But I felt a calling to serve rural churches because oftentimes in rural churches they can't really afford a full-time pastor. So I went into education so that I would have finances, insurance, etc. to take care of me, whether the church could afford me or not. That's what I did through all those years, and God blessed me. And then when I retired back in '93, I went to a small church, and God blessed it, and just a boomerang after that. I always enjoyed the challenge of going into a church and watching God go to work. When I retired from the pastorate in '03, thank God, from then on I don't have to worry with deacons, committees, or circumstance. I can come in today and walk out and let Cliff clean up the mess I made. And I enjoy that. The last really interim I did was out of Damascus. I spent, I think, about 14 months with y'all there before Steve came in, and I enjoyed the challenge we had there. And God blessed during that time. I just fill in and do supply. Now, I preached here in the other church a long time before some of you would have thought about it. Back in the late 60s, I think, was that a revival here. I believe the pastor was Jack Gibson. I think was who it was at that time, many, many years ago, that I was out of this community. Again, thank you for letting me come and be with you this morning. It is my pleasure to come and be able to say what God says to me and speaks to me today. And I listen to what He has to say and not what man says. Therefore, what I have to say today, let it be known that God is speaking to me and through me. And this is what God says that I have to say to you today. I noticed some of you in the choir were looking at me like I should be singing. I don't sing. When I first started pastoring, I did. I thought I had a pretty good voice. Rural churches, all these volunteers we had a guy that led the music there. And man, I was just enjoying it. I was just blowing it up. One Sunday he couldn't be there. He said, "Well, Mac, I can't get it." I said, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it." And I did. And then when I stood in the vestibule and everyone walked out, they looked at me and said, "Mac, oh, what a mellow voice you have. Oh, Mac, my ego was just up." Now look here, this was before Google. I had to go home and look in Webster. You young people don't know what I'm talking about. And you know what mellow means? Overripe or rotten. And I haven't sung since. So I've just enjoyed it since that time. Ruth, I did not give you my scripture this morning, but if you have your Bible, I invite you to turn with me to the book of 2 Corinthians and chapter 5. We will begin with verse 14, and I will be reading this morning from the New Living Translation, because I like the way that it says these words to us today. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, and beginning with verse 14. find Baptist where there's food. So we got started eating, and as we were eating, there was this couple next to us that got up to leave. The husband walked on. And so the wife came over and began talking to us. And the first thing she began to say, well, I noticed that you had prayer before you began eating your meal. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, that let me know, first of all, that you are a Christian. Secondly, it let me know that you don't mind where you are, that you will take a stand for God. And I said, you're right. And she stood there talking for some time, and she said, what we as Christians need to do today is take a stand for God. Amen. She said that they went up to First Baptist in Heaven there, and she stood for quite some time. Matter of fact, my breakfast was getting cold, and I don't like cold food. But anyway, I listened to her. And she kept talking and said, we need to take a stand for the Lord today. What's wrong, she said, in our churches and in our people today, especially Christians, is we are not taking a stand for God. And I agree with her. If there's ever been a need today, it is for God's people to stand up for God. We have come to the point that God and His Son Jesus take second place in our lives. Sometimes third, oftentimes more than that. As I reminisce over 2019, as I began to look at the paper and look at the news, and they're telling all these events that occurred back during these times in 19. Some were good, some were bad. You had good days, you had bad days, etc., like all of us. But the question arises today, what was my stand in 2019 for God? Coming to church, I'm not counting. Anyone can come to church. It's what we do when we leave the church. I go into a lot of churches today, and I get home and tell Sue, I said, I can't wait to get out of the next service. It's going to be short tonight. So many churches today don't have the Spirit of God. Thank you for your Spirit today. That comes from your leader. Thank you for feeling the presence of God. I feel that this is magic. You can be wrong if you want to, but I feel that when we come to the house of God, we must come to worship the Lord and not anything else. I see all of these other many churches that some I go into today that all they're involved in is enthusiasm, all this emotional stuff, and they get all up, but when they leave, they don't have anything to take with them. We must come to be fed and be able to face the world that is before us in the week that will be following. So as I looked and thought about what she had said to me, we need to take a stand for God. It brought me to what it says in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, beginning with verse 14. Whatever we do, it is because Christ's love controls us. Since we believe that Christ died for everyone, we also believe that we have all died to the old life we used to live. He died for everyone so that those who receive His new life will no longer live to please themselves. Instead, they will live to please Christ, who died and was raised for them. So we have stopped evaluating others by what the world thinks about them. Now, once I mistakenly thought of Christ that way, as though He were merely a human being. But how different I think about Him now. Now, what this means is that those who become Christians become new persons. Read that again. Those who become Christians become new persons. They are not the same anymore. For the old life is gone, and new life has begun. Now, all this newness of life is from God, who brought us back to Himself through what Christ did. And God has given us the task of reconciling or bringing people to Him. Then in verse 20 it says, we are Christ's ambassadors. us will take on a new life. What we have in the past is void. We cannot change it. All we have is today and that which is before us. And the challenge is to become a new person in God, a new person in Jesus Christ. Put on the new road, the new life. We need to